Guys, this is 6 weeks postpartum. She might be grunting a bit because I just fed her, and she's been a bit refluxy lately, I guess. Apart from that, she's going really well. She stopped the milk coming out of the nose thing, I think, because my boobs have been settling down, and I did have an overactive letdown that I had to go see a lactation consultant about, but that's all been fixed up. So now it's just dealing with her overnight time, with me trying to get some sleep, settling her down, and she's just woken up too, so she's a bit groggy. Hey Baba. You're not going to go back to sleep, because if you go back to sleep, I won't get anything tonight. Okay? But yeah, we're going really well. I'm putting on a lot of weight because I'm eating not that well. No, I am eating well. It's just I'm not doing a lot of physical exercise. So I'm putting on weight, which sucks. So I'm getting into a little exercise regime thing with some friends of mine. But anyway, apart from that, she's been going really, really well. I don't really have anything in particular to mention. Sleeping overnight time, she is starting to differ a little bit from what she had been. I would usually go to bed at 10 o'clock overnight time, between 8 and 10 o'clock. And so she would be sleeping from about 8 o'clock onwards. She'd wake up around 10 to 11. I'd feed her, she'd go back to sleep, she'd then wake up at 2. She'd then wake up at 4 to 5, and then anywhere between 6 and 8. So usually 11 p.m, 2 a.m, 4 a.m, and 6 a.m, but it is usually longer than that, but every 2 to 3 hours, basically. She's a lot more alert and awake now during the day. See, I think she's got tummy pain. She's a lot more awake and alert now during the day, which is fun. It's been interesting, but it's fun. Because my mum's in hospital with a knee replacement at the moment. We've been going and visiting her a lot. I think being out of the house a lot is very tiring for her. She will sleep and she'll eat, but when we come home and then towards the end of the day, she'll act like she's overstimulated and overtired, and it's just not fun for anyone, really. I was just trying to go back to sleep. No, Baba. No. It's not your bedtime yet. She's starting to look more and more like her dad. She's got her dad's ears and his lips. Haven't you? You're not going to sleep. No. You're not going to sleep. That's something else that started maybe a week and a half ago. She started smiling. She doesn't do it a lot and she doesn't do it very often. But when she does do it, wake up. When she does do it, it's very noticeable. Something else I'm finding is, because it's getting very hot here in Brisbane, that I'm worried about her overheating, but I'm also worried about her being too cold. So it's hard because she's a very sweaty baby to work out when she's warm and when she's cold. So I like to have a thin blanket over her anyway when we have the fan on, because I'd hate her to get sick. Come on, wake up. But I really worry about overheating, and we co-sleep majority of the time. I try and put her in the bassinet, and it's not that she cries. Don't get me wrong, we're not co-sleeping because she's a sooky baby and she can't sleep unless I'm holding her or rocking her or whatnot. It's nothing like that at all. She puts herself to sleep. Out to it. It's just because of the reflux issues and the milk out of the nose and everything issues that she has had. I'm very paranoid about her sleeping where I can't see her for at least an hour, and then usually by that time, if I'm not awake, I put her back in the bassinet. You're so funny. But I find that co-sleeping just helps me feel a lot more at ease, because I have basically developed an anxiety disorder. Um, I'm kidding. Over whether or not she's breathing. So us co-sleeping is pretty good for nighttime feeding, because I'll just lift up my nightie and feed her, burp her for anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half. It takes some nights. And usually then she'll be hungry again after I've spent all that time burping her and she's been vomiting and with the reflux and whatnot. I've been using Infant's Friend. Anyone who lives in Australia know what that is. And that helps a lot sometimes when she's got the really bad wind pain, but that doesn't stop. It doesn't help once it moves past the bowels. So I just try and get in and help when I can. Something else no one told me, because they use it at the hospital, the Johnson's products, Johnson's & Johnson's, apparently is really bad for skin. I hadn't been using like that much of it, but I had been putting the nighttime stuff into her bath water, and I'd been using the lotion. So of a nighttime she'd have a shower with her dad and I'd use that on her skin, and then before we went out anywhere during the day I'd give her a bath and put that in it and like wash her face and her hair and stuff with it as well. So now the midwife thinks that she's getting infantile eczema and she's blaming Johnson's & Johnson's products for that. I'm not too sure. I don't think, because I worked with children for 5 years and I've seen a lot of stuff, I don't think it's eczema. That's just me. I think it's just a milk rash that's being exaggerated by the heat. Because it's bumpy and it's like little pimples, but it's not. Like eczema is patches of skin and it almost gets crusty. The skin almost gets like crusty where the patches are. It's hard to describe, but I don't think that's that. But I've stopped using my favourite Johnson's products, and I might start using them again to see if it's helping or harming. But they have been very red and very blotchy, and it seems to have settled down a lot, because I've been using QV, which is soap free and all that. And so I'll do a few test runs to see how it goes, and if that backfires, I'll just start buying like the special stuff for her skin. But I'm really disappointed that Johnson's is so bad for babies apparently, which I find weird because they do use that in the hospital. And I used to use it on children as well, and like there's no problems with the kids that I used it on. But I don't know. I think that's the only main issue at the moment. Now that it seems to do one thing after another. Now that I've got the breastfeeding and everything under control, it seems to be her skin that's starting to play up. And I thought she might have an issue with her skin because both her father and I have skin problems. But mine's just my face, and it's nothing too bad. It's just I can't use certain products. So I'm thinking that she might be the same. Her dad's just oily, I think, and he had really bad acne when he was a teenager. That's hormonal and stuff. I bought a breast pump, an Advent single electronic breast pump. It's pretty good. It was $180. She is having difficulty learning how to use it. I didn't know that babies had to learn how to use bottles. So that's been interesting. I've been trying to get her dad to feed her, but I think she just knows that it's different, and so I'm going to start teaching her where it's me feeding her with the bottle, like laying down on the bed how I would usually feed her, like breastfeed her. Because it's a lot easier just feeding her on the bed, and it's a lot more comfortable, and because it's getting hot, it saves on heat and whatnot. Hey, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I call it a milk coma because I just fed her. It's just, she's out of it. But she has been asleep all afternoon and she has to wake up soon because usually she'd just be going to bed. I try and put her down to go to sleep around 7, 8 o'clock for the night. And considering she's still asleep, I don't know what I'm going to do if she doesn't want to go down later. But she goes all limp, and I'm worried that she's just gonna... What are you doing? You want to say hello? She's still got her blue eyes, which is weird because I've got green and her dad has brown. So I'm waiting for that to change, but that's typical baby. She can hold her head up when she's not being like this. She's very good at holding her head up and doing tummy time and all that. So there's no gross motor issues with her. She's just sleeping at the moment. But yeah, so that's 6 weeks postpartum. If you've got any questions, ask. I stopped bleeding about 3 to 4 weeks. That tear that I had inside that never got stitched up, I can still feel that sometimes, like doing certain activities, I can feel them. The outside one's healed up completely. It's just that one on the inside I can feel. And it's very uncomfortable when I can feel it. I think I'm meant to be going to the doctor this week for a 6-week checkup. I'm not going to say anything to him purely because I'm just sure it's something that's just going to resolve itself. But yeah, I think that's it for us. If you got any questions, let us know. Bye. Oh, look at her. You're hopeless, aren't you? Absolutely hopeless.